I'd like to call the October Board of Education meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. It's nice to see a full house this evening. I look forward to hearing more. At this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Make that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Quinn. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Harn. All in favor, show of hands. All right, first up, we have citizens' participation and statements.
Thank you, Madam President. We had no requests for citizens' participation per Board Policy BDDH.
All right, thank you. Citizens update. It looks like we are missing our command representative, probably for obvious reasons. So next up, we have district announcements.
Thank you, Madam President. First, I'd like to welcome Partridge and Thayer's staff this evening. Look forward to hearing more about both of their schools during the Spotlight on Education. Thank you for the overwhelming positive support during homecoming. Congratulations to Bank of Iberia for winning the business window decorating contest and to the 6th grade center who won the float contest. Parent-teacher conferences will be held October 20th, 21st, and 23rd as follows. Pre-K through 5th grade from 4 to 7:30 on October 20th and 23rd. Grades 6 through 12 from 3 to 6:30 on October 21st and 23rd. WHS Theater and Thespian Troupe 1669 will present Lady Dracula by Tim Kelly at the Waynesville High School Auditorium at 7 p.m. on October 22nd, 12:30 p.m. and 7 p.m. on October 25th, and 2:30 p.m. on October 26th. And our students always put on exceptional plays, so I encourage the public to come out and watch their performance. There will be no school on Friday, October 24th. October 27th through 30th is Red Ribbon Week. There will be no school for students on Friday, October 31st or Monday, November 10th for teacher in-services. And there will be no school on November 11th in observance of Veterans Day. And our students will again have off the entire week of Thanksgiving, November 24th through the 28th. Thank you.
Very good. Next up, we have our consent agenda. I would entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Thank you, Mr. Harn. Second, Mr. Anderson. All in favor, show of hands. Thank you. Next up, we have our student recognitions. First up is the 2025-2026 Student Leadership Team, Mrs. Bales, and we just got to hear from them in our study session. I think we had a great conversation, so thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. It's my honor to recognize these exceptional group of students that will serve on our student leadership team this school year. We will meet with them each quarter, and then they will come and talk to the board during study session on a variety of topics. Many ideas that they bring forward, we've been able to put changes in place to help better their school experience, so it really is valuable for us for sure, and I hope it is for them as well. We'll start with the representatives from the 6th grade center. If you all could go ahead and come on up. Trace Bonner, Lennox Carr, Zakai Carter, Aubrey Lampkins, Leo Miller, and Jessica Jaguna. Now our representatives from the middle school, Macy Arthur, Ava Campbell, Finley Latterer, and Joseph Valencia. Our high school representatives, Emmanuel Aguilar, Emily Babcock, Caden Crone, Nelson Fala, Sadie Fawn, Omari Lewis, Amelia Lindy, and Isabella Torres. Our Career Center representatives, Pedro Bettis, Addison Bowling, Wyatt Glassbell, Selena Helmuth, James Laughlin, Lauren Lurcher, Belle Magner, Sophia Roark, Noah Schaffer, Caden Vaughn, Hayden Walters, and Natasha Lappy. And while Dr. Goforth finishes passing out their certificates, again, I just want to say how much I appreciate these students' leadership within our school district and what a wonderful group we have this year. Thank you.
I almost didn't recognize them. They were so quiet this time. All right, next up we have our Spotlight on Education, and we're going to start with Partridge Elementary.
Thank you, Madam President. Ms. Fields is going to present our spotlights.
Our spotlight on education for our classified staff at Partridge is Ms. Ashlyn Sinclair. This year, we are proud to have Ms. Ashlyn as part of our team in the role of paraprofessional. After serving as an AmeriCorps member last year, she has continued to make a positive impact on our students and staff. She works closely with teachers to support not only her one-on-one student, but also other students who may need extra encouragement to find success in the classroom and school setting. Her positive attitude, kindness, and friendly approach shine through in every situation. She is always willing to step in and help wherever there is a need throughout the building. We are truly blessed to have her as part of our Partridge Elementary family. Our spotlight on education for certified staff is Mrs. Kate Morris. Mrs. Morris is one of our outstanding fifth grade teachers. She does a wonderful job building strong relationships with her students who are always excited to come to school each day. Her caring and engaging approach creates a classroom environment where students feel valued, motivated, and ready to learn. In addition to her work in the classroom, Mrs. Morris has taken on leadership roles within our school. She has played a key role in guiding our Leader in Me lead groups and now leads our Student Lighthouse team, mentoring a group of student leaders who are making a meaningful, positive impact throughout our school community. Mrs. Morris approaches every situation with an open mind and a student-centered focus. She is dedicated to ensuring that all students have the tools, confidence, and support they need to be successful and achieve their goals. We are truly ecstatic to have Mrs. Morris as part of our Partridge family.
And this evening, we are proud to recognize our first grade PLC team. It is made up of Linda Buchanan, you guys can come forward, Sarah Fields, and Genesis Nall. This amazing team has led the charge in implementing flex grouping during RTI time, becoming the first team to plan their RTI around switching students to better meet the needs of individual learners. Their collaboration and commitment to student success are evident in all that they do. Together, they develop lessons and strategies that are deeply connected to their curriculum and continuously look for new ways to engage students in meaningful learning experiences. Their efforts have resulted in strong student growth and continued professional growth as teachers and as a team. We are proud of the progress and leadership this team continues to demonstrate. In math, this team has shown growth for subtraction within 20, growing from 12% on a pretest to 63% on DFA 1. Please join me in celebrating our first grade team.
Thank you to the Partridge team. And next up, we have Mrs. Justice with Thayer Elementary.
Thank you. Mrs. Lund is going to recognize our certified staff member and classified staff member.
The Thayer Elementary community is proud to recognize Ms. Monica Vega as the Board of Education Spotlight recipient for our classified staff. Ms. Vega has served as Thayer's secretary for the past 11 years, and during that time, she has become the welcoming face and steady heartbeat of our school. She is often the first person families see when they walk through our doors, greeting everyone with kindness, patience, and warmth. Her professionalism and caring nature create an inviting atmosphere that reflects the heart of Thayer Elementary. A true multitasker, Ms. Vega skillfully balances phone calls, paperwork, and student needs, all while maintaining calm, grace, and efficiency. Her attention to detail and discretion ensure that office matters are handled smoothly and confidentially. Mrs. Justice can always count on her to keep our school running seamlessly each day. Our staff members shared these words to describe Mrs. Vega. Ms. Vega is always willing to help anyone in need. She builds meaningful relationships with students and helps them grow as leaders at Thayer. Each year, Ms. Vega joyfully teaches our third graders a special Dance for Veterans Day program. She stays after school, sharing her heart and sparkle to make sure every student shines on performance day. Her positive attitude lifts morale and helps create a caring, supportive school community. Ms. Monica Vega exemplifies dedication, compassion, and commitment in all she does. We are honored to recognize her as the Thayer Elementary Classified Staff Board of Education Spotlight recipient. Tonight, we are honored to recognize Mrs. Heather Huntington for her exceptional dedication, tireless effort, and the positive impact she makes every day within our school community. As an educator, Mrs. Huntington consistently goes above and beyond to ensure every student feels seen, supported, and empowered to succeed. The moment you step into Mrs. Huntington's classroom, it's clear this is more than just a place for learning. It's a space filled with warmth, encouragement, and endless possibility. Students are met with high expectations, balanced with compassion and patience. Whether she's implementing engaging strategies like Quiz Trade or using creative songs to spark enthusiasm for writing, Mrs. Huntington demonstrates that learning is not one size fits all. She works tirelessly to design experiences that meet the unique needs of every learner. What truly sets Mrs. Huntington apart is not only the way she teaches, but the way she cares. Her students feel valued because she shows them, through both words and actions, that they matter. In every way, Mrs. Huntington embodies the spirit of an outstanding educator, innovative, compassionate, and deeply committed to her students' success. It is both a privilege and an honor to recognize my team partner, Mrs. Heather Huntington, as this month's Board of Education Spotlight on Education Spotlight recipient for Thayer Elementary.
Thanks. All right, tonight we are proud to shine the spotlight on education on our outstanding fifth grade team, Mrs. Angela Chrisman and Mrs. Whitney Wood. These two dedicated educators began working together last December and quickly formed a strong collaborative partnership. They consistently share best practices, align instruction, and focus on ensuring every student becomes a proficient, capable learner ready for the next grade level. Their students thrive under the guidance, showing impressive growth on district common assessments. During the first quarter, Mrs. Chrisman and Mrs. Worley led their students to remarkable success in adding and subtracting multi-digit whole numbers and decimals. On their pretest, they had 10.26% on October 1st, and as of October 8th, their post-test showed 90%. Their key strategy, error analysis, empowered students to deeply understand place value and accurately line up decimals using standard algorithms. This is also a focus standard for our IBD data that was low last year on MAP, so they're carefully watching this. In reading, these creative teachers have transported their classrooms into exciting literacy adventures. Students have become FBI agents, fabulous book inspectors, who read like detectives, searching for clues, gathering evidence, and proving their answers. Reading has become a game in fifth grade where students earn badges, celebrate each other's progress, and develop a genuine love for books. Through innovative teaching, teamwork, and dedication, Mrs. Chrisman and Mrs. Worley have created a classroom culture that builds confidence, curiosity, and success. So tonight it is my privilege and honor to recognize Mrs. Angela Chrisman and Mrs. Whitney Worley, the fifth grade team at Thayer Elementary, for this month's Education Spotlight.
Thank you, Partridge and Thayer. It's really cool to see all the excitement. Next up, we have our staff recognitions. First up, our first quarter Project Teach.
Thank you, Madam President. The first quarter Project Teach is awarded to Virginia Fulmer Rim from Freedom Elementary, and her project, titled Just Like Me Mentor Club, is partnering with other students to create a mentor program that will work on social skills and life skills.
And our Tiger Spirit Award, Mrs. Bales.
It is my honor tonight to present Mr. Kevin Schnicker with the Traveling Tiger Trophy for the 6th grade center's first place win on the homecoming float. I just would like to notate two things. first of all, he has a 100% winning record at the Waynesville Sixth Grade Center because they won last year under his tenure, and this is his second year back, and they won again. And he carried it all the way in just so I could present it to him again this evening. So take comfort, other principals, he has to carry it all the way out.
It's almost like you had to work for it twice. Our Transportation Employee of the Month, Mr. Tronstad.
Good evening, everyone. Before I get started real quick, as I'm sitting over there listening to all this, I think I am guilty of taking for granted the number of amazing people we have work for this district. And I hear these awards and the students, and you don't really realize how much it takes for this operation to work every day and to do what we do. And that's because of the leaders and the teachers and everything. So I know I'm here to talk about transportation, but here we are, Chris. So our October Employee of the Month is Chris Zorns. She's been with us for 18 years. I think and that's her husband. He's a crossing guard. Their son is also in training now to be a driver, but we're here to talk about Chris tonight. So Chris has been with us for about 18 years. She's a role model, mentor. She's dependable. And one thing I will tell you about her is we often think about bus drivers. They take care of the students on the bus. They work with the bus aides, but they're also responsible for making sure that the buses are safe. They have to check them every day before every route. And when I was a mechanic, I will tell you she kept me busy. She's very thorough with that, and I'm just thankful for everything she does for our department. So thank you, Ms. Chris Zorns, for choosing transportation to make a difference in children's lives.
All right, thank you very much. We have our community recognition. Dr. Goforth.
Thank you, Madam President. Mr. Paul Green is our Community Recognition Award for the month of October. He donated school supplies and backpacks to Freedom Elementary, and we thank him for his continued support of Waynesville.
Now we will start with our discussion items. First up, we have our job descriptions, first read. Dr. Goforth.
Thank you, Madam President. The following attached proposed job descriptions are presented for your review as a first reading. 2.36.2, Director of Career Adult Education. 3.08.5, Video Production Teacher Video Specialist. And 4.13.5, WCC Adult Education Secretary. Administration will request approval at the November Board of Education meeting.
Are there any questions for Dr. Goforth at this time? Next up, we have our Waynesville Brand Standards Guide, first read. Mrs. Bales.
Thank you, Madam President. Administration brings forth the Waynesville Brand Standards Guide as a first reading. I just want to credit Mrs. Ward and her department for their very, very hard work putting this document together and running it through her advisory team. We would be happy to answer any questions between now and the next board meeting. Thank you.
Are there any questions for Mrs. Bales at this time? Okay, next up we have our construction update. Mr. Harrison.
Thank you, Madam President. Excited to present our update on our current active construction projects across the district. So we currently have 2 active construction projects. The first one being Liberty Elementary. Went out, these pictures here from last week, so some of this maybe look a little bit different, but these are pretty fresh. So this is a picture here looking from the kind of the east looking west. This is an overall snapshot of the overall site. You can really kind of see our original vision for the project kind of starting to come to fruition with all the work they're doing currently. So the next picture here, this is a kind of an angled snapshot that gives you a kind of a closer look at the entire site there. You can see there kind of in the front where the common areas are going to be, such as the gym and the office areas and the cafeteria, where the footers are going down. And then in the back there where the gravel is, the footers are getting ready to go in there, but that is where the classroom wings will actually go. This is kind of an up-close shot here down by T Highway where the city of Waynesville was working on utilities at that time. So we got gas and electric going in that big trench over there on the right side. And that work, I believe, is already completed at this point. This is a snapshot right above the current gym that's going in. This is an ICC 500 rated storm shelter. The same rating as what a FEMA shelter would be, but you can see the massive footings that are going in the ground there. And we expect to see some walls going up here within the next few months on top of those footings. But that just kind of gives you an idea of the massive structure that goes in place before that building starts being erected there. And this is kind of a close-up shot of those common areas I spoke of earlier. You can see the footers there. This will be from the bottom going up where the entrance to the building is. And then this will be the office areas, cafeteria, and those common type areas for the building. And this is a closer shot of where they've already got the land graded and getting ready to start footers for the classroom wing. You can see the elevator shaft there kind of in the middle of that picture there. Update on schedule. So the blasting is already 100% complete. During the month of October, we anticipate that they'll have all the excess material and things hauled off the site. Around November of 25, we'll expect to start seeing some walls being erected. So that'll be exciting to start seeing the building become vertical. And then around February of 26, the retaining walls should be complete. And then we're still looking at that March 27 for substantial completion date on the overall project. And from an overall perspective, I'm looking at this project right now. We are currently on budget and on schedule as well. So excited to be able to present that to you as well. The high school HVAC project, so they had some few little things they were finishing up over the last few weeks. They've completely done the testing and balancing work, and they've got everything kind of tweaked on it. There are a couple smaller warranty things, some parts that have went out that they're currently taken care of, but that project is complete, and other than just a few little fixes and tweaks, we're good to go on that project. So this will probably be the last update that I put on that project, but it is done. And then with the next construction update, we'll have the renovation of the central office project that I'll be updating on as well. So excited to get that one going also. Any questions?
Questions for Mr. Harrison? I think our two big questions, on budget and on time, is what we appreciate. Next up, we have our beginning of the year STAR report, Mr. Henson and Mrs. Long.
Thank you, Madam President. Mrs. Long and I will present tonight on the beginning of the year STAR scores. So what we will look at here in a minute, we will look at two different reports. We will look at the average scale score. The average scale score is based on the difficulty of questions and the number of correct questions. So basically, it's what a student knows at that point in time. We will also look at the percentage of students in the 50th percentile or higher, and this is where students score nationally compared to students within the same grade level. First, we'll talk about STAR reading. So within STAR reading, you'll see two different charts here. What you want to focus on is the red dot. The red dot is for 25-26. The one on the left will be the average scale score, and the one on the right will be the percentile rank. The one on the right with the percentile rank, you will see there's only 2 years. If you'll remember last year, Renaissance renormed their test. So in order to compare apples to apples, we were only showing 2 years worth of data. If we would have shown multiple years worth of data, the data would look really skewed. So the first one is kindergarten and first grade. They take what's called the early literacy test in STAR. And you can see here that starting this year, our kindergarten students are just slightly above where they were the previous year and the previous 3 years. In the percentile rank, you will see that our students are scoring higher than 59% of students nationally in kindergarten. For first grade, for their STAR early literacy, it's the highest over the 4-year span that they scored beginning the year. Then in their percentile rank, they had a 7% increase from the prior year. For our second grade students, they're transitioning, they should be readers at this point in time, so they're transitioning from the STAR early literacy test to the STAR reading test. You will see our second grade students, when it comes to their scale score, it's the highest within that 4-year span. And then you can see with the second grade at the percentile rank, they had a 6% increase. So when we're looking at K-1-2, I attribute some of this growth that we're seeing here to the science of reading that all of our K-1 teachers have been engaged in. That's through their letters training that a majority of our teachers have. We use something called UFly as well and Hegarty, and that's for good phonics instruction. So also, this past year, we implemented a Tier 1 literacy block, which focuses in on phonics, vocabulary, comprehension, writing, and then we really put a strong focus on small group instruction as well. So looking at third grade, you can see that we did have a drop from previous years as where we're starting. Same for both the scale score and in the percentile rank. We have recognized this with my elementary administrative team, that this is a focus area for this year. We are developing plans. Principals are going to be in these classrooms more. Coaching support, whether it be a building level coach or a district level coach. And something else to recognize with this group, we knew going into this year, this group in second grade, there was a large number of reading success plans. So they've just transitioned over to this year. So we knew going into this year we were going to have some struggles with this group in reading, and we just have to put focus there. Now, if this isn't just on the third grade team, we also have to recognize what's happening in the grade level before them, second grade. So we're also putting focus and paying attention there as well. For fourth grade, we jump back up again. For the scale score, it's the highest. So basically, they're starting the year where they ended last year. So that tells me there was no summer slide, which is really good because you hear about that summer slide so often. Percentile rank, scoring higher than 62% of students nationally in grade 4. So then we have fifth grade, starting the year at their 22, 23 level. You can see it's equal to that. And then with their percentile rank in fifth grade, they did have a 5% increase from the start of the previous year.
So continuing into sixth grade STAR reading scores, you'll see they began the year at the same place as they did in the 2023-24 school year and significantly above last year's start. They're consistent with the national percentage the past 2 years and where they're starting. In seventh grade, they are starting the year very close to that 23-24 school year start and a little bit below last year's start of the year. They are also beginning the year a little bit below the national percentile as compared to last year's cohort in seventh grade. So obviously seventh grade is one of those areas where digging into some student performance and interventions that are needed for individuals is important to us. Eighth grade, you'll see they had the highest start starting off the year in the past 4 years, and they are significantly above where they started last year as far as national percentage rank. Ninth grade, you'll see they are below last year's start, but very similar to the prior years for a beginning of the year star reading score, and yet they are below the national percentage. So again, wanting to look at some interventions with that group. And then finally, 10th grade is the last grade that we do star reading tests with, and they are starting their highest start of the past 4 years, both. Well, and then the last 2 years on the national percentile. One thing, whenever we look at later how these are used by different groups, Mr. Henson mentioned it with a couple of his grade levels. We also look, this is a snapshot of where they come into that classroom, what they come into with, very beginning of the year, a start, a pretest of sorts. Comparing cohorts is something, and like I said, he mentioned it for a couple of grade levels, that our administrators do it well as well. Looking at how those students ended the year that were with us, ended the year before, and started the next year, and seeing what that looks like, because as you can see, different years, the different cohorts of students definitely have different levels of performance. STAR scores are something that we wanted to mention in working with literacy. It's an important data point for us. And so we currently have district literacy teams in place that look at and identify successful instructional strategies for literacy. They look at and they identify that. They work to provide professional development and support for their peers. Frequently, we're at the place where we're able to do that within our district, as well as some of the other trainings like Mr. Henson had mentioned for our younger students in the science-backed reading programs. Curriculum, we are undergoing a vertical review of our reading and writing curriculum this year. So we're excited about that, looking not at just the curriculum, but the resources, the alignment of the curriculum from grade level to grade level on up and how that fits, and assessments as well. And then finally, that resources piece. We're currently reviewing the resources that are being used by the teachers. It's been 6 years for the elementary reading adoption, and just as long for some secondary resources as well. So we are just starting this month to form the teacher teams that will provide some input and potentially pilot some of those new resources throughout the remainder of this year, so that we can bring a recommendation for how we want to move forward with that. Additionally, Mr. Henson and I have a goal of writing a comprehensive literacy plan for our district. It begins with currently doing a self-assessment, which there is a rubric provided by the state on literacy that we're going to work through with a group of stakeholders to go through and identify where we are starting, what's currently in place, where our strengths and maybe some areas of growth are, identify our focus areas, and then create some specific plans to address those focus areas. So this is an ongoing project. It's a very large and robust rubric to work through, and you really talk through with different people that are in different parts of the implementation phase, be it a teacher, a community stakeholder, different grade levels, and where they see us being at that in order to identify those focus areas. But we're excited to get that done and then roll into next year with some really specific literacy goals that we'll be happy to share with everyone.
Okay, so now we'll transition into STAR Math. As a reminder, with math, last year was our first year in our new series, so we spent the whole year in the series now. And then also with STAR Math, we assess students in grades 1 through 8. So looking at our first grade STAR Math with a scale score and the percentile rank, you can see within the scale score we're staying pretty average where we typically fall at the beginning of the year. But within our percentile rank, there was a slight increase from the prior year. For second grade, once again, we're holding steady there with scale score where we typically go, but then with the second grade and the percentile rank, there's 3% increase from the start of last year, and they're higher than the winter and spring from the previous year starting out. So for our third grade, if you remember back in reading, We talked about third grade being a focus group. They're also a focus group when it comes to math as well. So we're seeing a trend here with this third grade class. Just like reading, we're going to dig into it to see where we can provide those supports, work with my elementary admin team very closely, develop a plan to make sure we're in those classrooms, seeing where we can provide the supports and provide as much as needed. Fourth grade, within the scale score, we did see a slight increase started this year compared to prior years. Then also with the fourth grade math with the percentile rank, there was a slight increase there as well. Fifth grade scale score, holding steady, but then you can see in the percentile rank, they're scoring higher than 63% of fifth graders nationally.
Thank you. For sixth grade, you'll notice at the beginning of the year we are starting just slightly below last year's, but ahead of the 2 prior years, and just a little bit below where we started on the norm reference part. For seventh grade, you'll see almost the same results as our sixth grade and the beginning of the year results as compared to prior years. For eighth grade, you'll notice they are beginning the year ahead of the past 3 years, and their score is right wherever we started last year in the normed comparative group. This is the group we were really excited to see that they started strong, because if you remember when we looked at our end of year assessments in math, that seventh grade grade level made some considerable gains last year. So we're really excited that they came back and started the year strong as a cohort in eighth grade. Eighth grade is the last grade level that we do STAR math. After eighth grade, math becomes a content-specific algebra geometry type of a course. And then in addition to, so this is how we use our beginning of the year data, how we look at when kids are coming. Obviously, it's really important for teachers to see where students that are new to them, they're coming into their classroom new, where they're coming in. Mr. Henson mentioned, they could look at the end of last year's, but look at that and also beginning. Was there a summer slide? Are they coming and performing at the same, consistent level there? They work to identify students in their class. I know Ms. Justice mentioned earlier how much detail they can get as far as specific areas of need that they can address with the students needing additional focus or support as a class or as individual students. The buildings look at it, again, as a very common thing. They look at it as a grade level right now, but they also look at those cohorts and how they do as they move along. They work to design tier 2 and 3 supports with the data for their building and their classrooms, and again, help identify not just students, but maybe classrooms that could use some additional support. And again, at the district level, we do the very same thing. We help those buildings and those classroom teachers. We look to where we could provide some additional coaching support for the classroom, for the grade level, for the building, and or resources as needed. So those are just some additional ways how we use this data. Any questions?
Information. Any questions for Ms. Long or Mr. Henson?
I only have one comment. Is there a way that we can actually test the seniors? I'd like to see where their reading level is when they graduate.
There are tests we could give our seniors to determine a lexile. That's not in our current assessment plan, but as we look to next year's assessment plan, we could take that and review it as a possibility. Yeah, we can review next year's assessment plan and consider that.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing the information. Next up, we have professional development plan and guidance, Mrs. Long and Mr. Henson.
Yes, attached to tonight's agenda, you will find an updated professional development plan for your review and consideration. Final approval will be requested at the November board meeting.
Okay. Are there any questions at this time for Mrs. Long or Mr. Henson? And title programs update, Mr. Henson.
Thank you, Madam President. So tonight I will do a brief update on our title programs. So as you know, Title is a federally funded program. It falls under ESSA, and the purpose of our title funding is to ensure all students have an opportunity to succeed, to meet those economically disadvantaged students, and to help close those achievement gaps with our students. Family engagement, you will see throughout this presentation, pictures like the one you're seeing here. Our title program and our title activity nights bring families in. And so it increases that family engagement, and it helps provide professional development. So when it comes to the different types of title funding, the three that we use or utilize here within the district is the Title I, and it falls under Title 1A. And what Title 1A does, Title 1A, it's used for instruction, it's used for interventions, and it's used for parental involvement. Our Title I schools at the elementary level are East Elementary, Freedom Elementary, Partridge Elementary, and Wood Elementary. But then we also have a title preschool in Williams, and then also Perimeter also falls under title funding as well. So with that title funding that we have, we use it for those family activity nights that I did mention earlier, but then also, it also funds 4 building coaches at each of our elementary schools. It funds 2 reading teachers, one at East, one at Freedom. It funds 2 preschool teachers at Williams. It funds 2 preschool paraprofessionals at Williams, 1 perimeter teacher, and 1 reading paraprofessional at Freedom. Title II is used for preparing, training, and recruiting high-quality staff. So this is part of our new teacher program. So when our new teachers come in, that boot camp week where they're drinking through a fire hose, it helps fund that for them. But then it also helps align CSEP, align professional development for our teachers, but it also funds one of our district level coaches that we have. So we have those 3 district level coaches. It provides funding for one of their salaries. Then lastly here we use Title III. Title III is for English learners, and it helps with providing professional development there, parent involvement activities, but then it also funds one of our EL paraprofessionals. So we are a school-wide title program, and what that basically means is a school-wide program allows schools to use title funds to benefit students rather than limiting services, or benefit all students rather than limiting services to those who have been identified as most at risk. Within that school-wide plan, we have to focus in on building strengths, weaknesses, priorities. All of this is done through a comprehensive needs assessment. This work is done and planned collaboratively with families and within the staff of each title school, and it has to be reviewed and updated annually. So we also have to monitor student achievement when it comes to title funding, and of course, as Mrs. Long and I just discussed, we use STAR. That's our benchmark tool that we use. So STAR is used heavily when it comes to writing those building level plans, looking at that data to see what is our strengths, where are our weaknesses, where can we grow as a building, and that information is shared as they write that plan with parents. So parent involvement and resources. Parent involvement in some of the parent rights. They participate in Title I program events. Parent advisory input in all Title I planning and programming, and they have the right to know teacher qualifications and access to the title plans. And then there's also different volunteer opportunities within our title schools for our parents. Some of the resources that are available to our parents is that annual Title I beginning of the year meeting. That is mandatory that every one of our title buildings have a beginning of the year meeting. There is a school parent compact as well that is written during that meeting and reviewed. There's a parent and family engagement policy. Then also resources, our links are on the website. I'm currently working with Marianne and her team to update our website for title and make it better for our families. So with title funding, to do a SWOT analysis on it, to think through that. What is the strength of title? Well, a strength of title is focused on supporting academics, of course, Then it encourages family engagement. So what's a weakness of it? It's instability in funding. That is something right now, not knowing how the funding is going to work with Title makes it hard for us when it comes to planning for staffing and for programs. What opportunity do we have? Funds can be used to increase family engagement once again and to strengthen that school and family connections. And what's the biggest threat? Funding. That's the biggest threat right now when it comes to Title. If you think back to what I presented earlier, how we use our Title funding, right now we have 14 positions that are paid for out of Title funding, okay? Our new teacher programs is paid for out of Title funding. Not knowing that instability and not knowing what's next when it comes to Title funding, that's something we have to do as a leadership team, be thinking about this, you as a board thinking about this, just having that, be cognizant of that, and be aware that not knowing where Title funding is going to be tomorrow, next year, and knowing that we have all these positions that are paid from that. Any questions?
Mr. Henderson, in the past, have we ever lost Title funding before?
So actually, this year, our Title funding did decrease. I can't tell you the exact number, but when we started this year, that Title II and that Title III, it was frozen. School districts across the country didn't know if we were going to be able to utilize that funding at all. So I can tell you, in the past, we were able to pay for those staffing positions, but then also have dollars available for buildings to utilize when they're doing those family engagement nights to help with food or help with decorations or whatever they may be doing, to help with whatever activities they're doing. We no longer have that. So right now we just have enough. So Title funding has decreased this year, and like I said, we didn't even know if we would have Title II or Title III when the year started.
Mr. Henson, do we have, is our Title III large compared to an average district because of all our English learners that we have? 38 languages, that's a lot.
Yeah, and basically it's based off of deprivation as far as at each building. The number of like free and reduced numbers help drive Title funding as well. And our free and reduced numbers actually were a little bit lower going into with this as well. So that did have an effect on it as well.
Other questions?
Now, we used to have Title Math, and is it because of funding we don't do that now, or just it wasn't?
So now our Title funding that we do what's Buildings Methods Coach. So there are coaches within buildings that focus on both, wherever there's a need, whether it be within reading or English or math. And so they provide the support where needed within the building. So it's not just focused strictly on Title reading per se in every building or Title math. We have those 4 methods coaches that help the whole program.
Mr. Henson, when do we typically know when we're going to get the Title funding? Is there a specific time of year that's typically announced to us?
So yeah, so it goes off the federal timeline, so it's usually October timeframe. But throughout the year, we're always working on things, trying to get things approved. I may put my application in, and I may not hear anything for 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. Currently, we're within our cohort, we're going through a tier monitoring process, meaning that it's kind of like a desk audit. So there's things I'm working with my buildings right now to get documentation in to prove that we're doing what Title requires. If for some reason some lucky schools get chosen to have an actual on-site audit, fingers crossed, that's not us. But anyway, so that does happen. So this year, just because we're in cohort 3, all cohort 3 schools are going through that. So to answer your question, Mr. Pondham, it's part of that federal cycle in October, usually when we find out. But it does take a while for them to get through and say yay or nay.
And I just want to add, we are in a very unpredictable time right now. So we can tell you what we expected previously, but there are things that are occurring that we've not faced before with funding streams and various things. So we will keep you and the public as informed and updated as we are, but sometimes we find out things, they change over the weekend.
Yeah, it's it's not stable. Instability is a key word there.
So, Mr. Henson, the October announcement, or, you know, when you stated that you typically receive that update, is that for the current school year or is that for the following school year?
So that funding will be for that current year.
Other questions for Mr. Henson? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. All right, we'll move on to our action items. We have our fiscal year 26 fall surplus list. Mr. Harrison.
Thank you, Madam President. Motion to declare excess items and equipment as surplus property as presented.
Any questions for Mr. Harrison? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve. Mr. Anderson, thank you. Do I have a second?
A second.
Mr. Quinn, all in favor, show of hands. Motion passes. Our local compliance plan, Dr. Washington.
Thank you, Madam President. Attached, you will find our local compliance plan for approval. LEAs must adopt a local compliance plan consistent with the state policies. Administration would like to seek approval for the local compliance plan as presented.
Are there questions for Dr. Washington? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Anderson raised his hand first, but I'll let you have the second if you'll take it. All right. And all in favor, show of hands. Motion passes. Thank you. Liberty Elementary, BP number 4, contract approval, Mr. Harrison.
Thank you, Madam President. Motion to approve the contract with Children's Specialties Incorporated for Liberty Elementary bid package number 4, which includes the playground equipment, installation, and surfacing of the playground areas as presented.
I think this will be the kiddos' favorite part of the project, is that playground. Any questions for Mr. Harrison? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve. Mr. Anderson, thank you. Is there a second? Thank you, Mr. Pondrum. All in favor, show of hands. Motion passes. Change order number 4 from BP number 1 with Bloomsdale Excavating on Liberty Elementary Phase 1 project. Mr. Harrison.
Thank you, Madam President. Motion to approve change order number 4 with Bloomsdale Excavating on Liberty Elementary Phase 1 project, BP number 1, in the amount of negative $118,369, which would reduce the contract sum to $11,193,767.09.
Questions for Mr. Harrison? Decreases are always good. Do I have a motion to approve? Mr. Keeling's excited. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Harn, all in favor, show of hands. Motion passes. And now we will move into closed session as allowed by RSMO.610.021, Section 1, legal actions, Section 3, hiring, firing, and disciplinating or promotion of employees, and Section 13, individual personnel records and performance ratings. Do I have a motion to enter into closed session?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Quinn. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you, Mr. Harn. Roll call vote. Mr. Keeling?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
All right. We are in close. Thank you.